We're just wrapping up here at a jam-packed Abbey Master Builder Center in Blackfalds here with CWC Clash for the Cup Round 1. Hey folks, Mike the Ref here with quick calls. Wow, 6 big matches, 4 matches for the Canada Cup. Sorry, had a bunch of fans go by, so
Mike Malowany's a man.
I like to hear that more than once. 6 great matches, a hell of a main event here, and a jam-packed crowd, and a debut that I didn't expect here, but, you know, I go over it, but this time I got notes, folks, so I want to, let's get to these matches here. First of all, our first round matchup in the Canada Cup tournament.
CWC.
More fans going by, folks. We had the first round of the Canada Cup. Nasty Nate Nixon was taking on the king of Flex O'Clock, Sidney Steele. Nasty Nixon was out here by himself for once, and it seemed to be a bit of a hindrance for him where you had Sidney Steele, who is so experienced in that ring, took him to school a little bit here. Nate got his shots in, but in the end, a move I haven't seen in a very long time here. A springboard curb stomp onto the top rope. Sorry, onto the bottom rope. Where Nate Nixon had his head perched. Ended up giving a big snap to the neck and knocking him out, causing the 1-2-3 for Sidney Steele as he gets to advance to the second round of the CWC Canada Cup. A hell of a match. From there, we go to the, well, this match was for the Canada Cup tournament, but it was also for the Alberta Championship. You had the champion Pride with the guiding spirit. I don't know what other way to put it. I know Josh Matthews has that patented right now, but we'll go with it. Envy. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with the relationship between those two. Taking on the Alberta Wrestling Hall of Famer, Massive Damage. Now, there was a lot of lack of respect showed by Pride towards Massive Damage, and every time that he got a little bit extra cocky, it cost him. And Massive Damage was within a hair of getting that championship. Massive was setting up for that huge spear. If he would have hit that spear, guaranteed he was going to become the new champion. But Pride sneaks out of the ring, grabs his belt, and takes a powder. So he does get counted out. He does lose the match. He does lose his opportunity for the Canada Cup, but he does not lose the Alberta Championship. So kudos to Massive Damage for moving on to the second round. Sorry about the quick pop-out, pop-in there, folks. Had a little thing I had to record here for Evolution here with Special Stars. So let's move on to our third match of the night. And this was a grudge match, a rematch from, or sorry, not a rematch, a revenge match from last July, where Johnny Kickass laid out Michael Richard Blaze with a steel chair following a tag match. Johnny Kickass and MRB went at it once again here in singles competition. Sorry, if you guys haven't checked up on social media, I've been a little under the weather all week here. So this match, you could tell both guys were going to be ready to go at it right off the bat. Johnny Kickass came out for a sneak attack on Michael Richard Blaze. Blaze eventually uses his experience and turns it around and manages to take control of the match. Hits the 450, and I still don't know how Johnny kicked out of that. In the end, what ended up happening here in this match is referee got distracted by Johnny bringing in the chair. He's getting the chair out of the ring. Kickass just comes around, and if you guys saw last month with Pride with the shot to the Dylan Stones, Johnny did the same thing to Mike Richard Blaze. The only difference is the referee didn't see it, hits that power bomb, and gets the 1-2-3. But after that match, you had Johnny going to grab his chair and wanting to lay out Mike Richard Blaze for good. And then out of nowhere comes out this other girl and basically grabs it, shoves him away, gets in Johnny's face, and even slaps him. Now, if you guys checked out the previous episodes of Evolution and saw what Johnny Kickass did to Angelica, you could know that Johnny Kickass does not take quite a favor to the female gender, to put it lightly. Johnny, basically after that slap, MRB tries to set up for the super kick. Johnny gets out of dodge and manages to escape, and he's moving on to the second round of the Canada Cup tournament. From there, we went to intermission, and we went to one of the more interesting matches of the night. I was really wondering how this match was going to go. You had the CWC Tag Team Champions, the Wrecking Crew, Sean Martins and Dean Richter, which right now I got to say this, before we get going, Sean Martins, my God, does he look a hell of a lot better than he did in November. He's really gotten in the gym. He's in tip-top shape here right now. And, of course, Dean Richter's no slouch. The General, well, needs to look like he needs to do a few more mustache curls and whatnot, but I'll digress at that point. They teamed up with PWA star and the king of slam style, Bryce the Slammer Silva. I wish the Slammer would have contacted one of us before coming out so he could learn that the Wrecking Crew isn't exactly a bunch of guys that should be you should be hanging around with, for better terms. As the match unfolds, he learns it very quickly. But they were taking on the team of the Birds of Prey, Kid Cyrus and Mystic, and Skylar Paris Austin, who came out without the headgear and in a black singlet with pink accents. Really changed the look. Very interesting new look to him and a new attitude. He was a lot more aggressive, and it seemed like he got over his little phobias in the ring. It was a drag-out affair where you could tell where the big men were attacking the little guys throughout the match. Mystic and Kid Cyrus took a beating. In the end, Slammer hits Skylar Paris Austin with that overhead choke slam of his patented finisher. But rather than going for the pin because the referee was distracted, he manages to pull the General into the ring, who earlier in the match cost his team the match by distracting the referee after Martins and Richter hit that car wreck finisher of theirs with the neckbreaker side slam combination. The General came in to hit Austin with his cane, hits Slammer. Austin scoops up Slammer, gets the 1-2-3, and gets the victory to shock the hell out of this crowd here at the Abbey Master Builder Center, and it shocked me as well. After the match, it looked like the Slammer was finally going to get revenge for all of us on the General, which is rightly deserved. But the Wrecking Crew comes in to break it up, and they get the sufferings of the Slammer. So I'm happy to say that the Wrecking Crew got their just desserts on more than one occasion there on that match. So, and I really hope to see Slammer back here in the CWC very soon. And then from there, we went to another Canada Cup qualifier with the Beast, as he wants to be called now. He's big, but I guess he took the sexy out of it. Maybe he'll bring sexy back someday, but that's up to Justin Timberlake to talk about. Bradley Graham taking on a newcomer to CWC, but very familiar to PPW fans, and Jumping Josh. Now, you could tell where this ended up being a size advantage for the Big Sexy Beast, and he took full advantage of it throughout the match. He had this match won numerous times, especially with a couple shoulder breakers. But then out comes T.S. Cutler in a doctor's outfit, sort of, maybe, with a bandage on his head. So I'm going to say it. I said it during the broadcast, and I'll say it now. T.S. Cutler needs a different set of white coats right now. So Graham dispatches of Cutler in a very non-auspicious way. Ends up taking care of Josh with a hellacious Vader bomb and gets the 1-2-3 and advances in the Canada Cup tournament. So out of this show, we have Sidney Steele, Massive Damage, Johnny Kickass, and the Beast Bradley Graham moving on to round 2. I'm going to work with the CWC at office. I'm going to try and figure out what the second half of the draw is, as well as the matchups for round 2 based on this coming up in the future weeks, folks. But then we get to our main event. A rematch from November with Chris Parrish taking on the Cheetah Bear Jude Dawkins in a knock-em, drag-em out. These guys know each other very well kind of match where you had the Cheetah Bear scout a couple finishing moves by Parrish, including the pedigree. There was one point where Parrish was going for the parachute in the ring. I don't know if it was noticing what was going on or just collapsing out of exhaustion, but the Cheetah Bear managed to get out of those moves. And as well, Parrish scouting the Red Queen very well, where the Cheetah Bear tries to come in and Parrish blocks it and basically knocks out the Cheetah Bear for a good 5-10 seconds there. The ending of this match, Parrish ends up going for a super kick, ends up missing Dawkins and hits the referee, Ken Kine. You had Jude fire up, and this is after getting hit with a parachute on the stairs, which is the sickest parachute I think I've seen from Chris Parrish. Dawkins fires up, hits that new Abbey Road crossing. If you haven't seen it, folks, it's from a fireman's carry into a overhead sit-out choke slam. He could have got the cover very easily, but there was no referee. Junior referee Blake comes out, and both competitors are spent. He throws up the X on Chris Parrish, thinking that he's legit injured. Bob Gordon comes out to check. In the meantime, Dawkins doesn't see this and tries to wake up Ken Kine. Parrish, out of the corner of his eye, sees this, rolls up Dawkins, and gets the 1-2-3, so he sneaks out another victory over the Cheetah Bear. By hook or by crook, Chris Parrish gets another victory, so I gotta have to say kudos to Parrish, but Dawkins, to these fans, Dawkins got screwed again, but we'll see what happens here, because it was announced by Commissioner Gordon following the match that the loser of this match, who ended up being Jude Dawkins, gets entered as one of the other 8 competitors in the B-side bracket for the Canada Cup, which will be coming up April 28th at the Abbey Master Builder Center once again. So I'm going to have to figure out where the draw is going for that. But going on to our highlights of the night here, folks. This card was so solid all the way up and down. I have to, I can't give one solid moment. This was just a solid show top to bottom. If you guys are checking out Evolution, you're going to see what I mean here. But I could give a surprise of the night. Skylar Paris-Austin pinning Slammer for the 1-2-3 and getting the victory for his team. Not in a million years did I expect that victory here, folks. But that's going to wrap it up here for this edition of Quick Calls. Our next edition, it's going to be coming up next Saturday from the Alberta Avenue Hall in Edmonton with the MPW Monster Pro Wrestling Eliminator Show. I'm going to have some match announcements coming up this week. As you can tell by the coughing, I've been a little under the weather this week, trying to deal with all the commotion and kerfluffle that's been coming up over the last week here. I've been having to deal with a lot, so I got two big announcements coming up Monday after Monday Night Raw, and then following that, I'll have some stuff coming out throughout the week here. So make sure you check us out not only on backbreakervod.pivotshare.com. Use the code EVOLUTION for 50% off the first 3 months. But also we are broadcasting on Twitch as well. That's been coming up very successfully here. So there's not going to be as much content on there right now. But we got some big things coming down. I'm going to try and get these next 2 shows of Evolution up here on the Twitch channel as well as the Pivot Share channel. But that's going to wrap it up here from the Abbey Master Builder Center. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching this on YouTube and Facebook, as well as checking out the simulcast on all our usual podcast channels. This is Mike the Ref thanking you and just reminding you, if you're going to make a good call, make a quick call. And this has been Quick Calls from the Abbey Master Builder Center in Blackfalds, Alberta, with CWC Clash for the Cup Round 1 Fleet here on Backbreaker Media.